our best.
Hello and welcome.
With Martin. Yeah, we're filming this, or videoing it for both channels. Martin's got a channel as well, as you probably already know. I've come to visit, been to the gym. It's my day off. I'm off to see my mum and dad later. So I popped in to see Martin and his wife Jamie and the granddaughter. So we're just going to talk about a few things.
Sunny day.
Yeah, it's a lovely day.
So welcome, Lee, and it's always good to have you back.
Thank you.
You've had a good little rest from filming. You put one up recently, isn't it? And you've been busy at work, as you've shared with all the subscribers and people who view.
Priority, hasn't it?
And it was important to get into that pattern again, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we were discussing at some point a meet-up. We shared a couple of months back, would it have been?
Yeah.
On a meet-up.
No, I've got my shift pattern.
That's the main thing.
Sorted out. I know when I'm going to be off now.
Exactly. So Lee's got his schedule. He knows when he's off, when he's working. Now it's just coordinating it with Jane and with a few others. And we'll pick a Saturday at some point. It may run into autumn. We're not looking at August, and we're looking at the Black Country Museum.
Yeah, this is going to be a meet-up like we did last year for Martin's birthday, which was in early August, wasn't it?
That was late August. Port Mary, yeah, 23rd. But
so it'd be nice to meet up, have a few subscribers come down, and
that's it. And it would be great to see those who can make it. So we'll let you know more on that once we've arranged it. But it is on course, and we do intend to have a get together.
Keep you informed about when it's going to be.
So Lee, how are you finding the new job as such?
I'm enjoying it. I'm glad to be back. You know, it's no disrespect to the blokes I work with, but at Clark's, as I've mentioned many times, it was a completely different dynamic. It was a ministry, and the people there were just more than work colleagues and friends. Yeah. So it's different. I wouldn't say I dislike the people I work with or anything like that, but it's a bit like, I don't know, working with your brother and working with your best mate.
Yeah,
you love the pair of them, but it's a different setup, isn't it? It's a different dynamic. The job itself, a lot of it's coming back. Some of it I've forgotten because there was no call or need to remember specifics. When you've left and you don't think you're going to come back, some things your mind and brain holds on to, other things you just dismiss because I say it's gone, it's the past. But so things are coming back, and it's surprising what I can remember and what I can't. But I've been on refreshers and getting into it. 12-hour shifts, and I was just talking to Martin about this earlier. One of the things that surprised, I remember the 12 hours being a long time the last time I worked there, but now the 12 hours are going like that.
And that's a good thing, isn't it? When time does pass quickly.
Yeah. I feel like I've been at work about 6 or 7 hours in 12 hours.
That's a great thing. And the other thing that's great will be the added cash.
Oh yeah.
That will help, particularly in these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
it's going to get worse, isn't it?
It's going to get worse, and
we don't know how long it's going to last.
As Phil said on a talk we did called "We're All in This Psyop Together," he made a very good point that they had done all of this prices, things going on, everything, and announcing it as we headed into spring and then into summer. So people are expecting. It's not going to
shock of the light.
Yes, it'll be a shock, but they've been told, you know.
Yeah.
And we've got to look at ways of you're going to have to get your Russian naval what do you call them, vests and tops and stuff out, and the hat. We're going to need hats. And I had on my thick Cornish fisherman's navy top on.
What you should have done, Martin, is got my mum to knit you an jumper.
Well, there you go.
That's what you actually needed. But.
Yeah. But this is it, and we're in days where generations are growing up who expect the central heating to be on, walking around in a t-shirt in winter, isn't it? When you just put more layers on.
Yeah.
That helps, but that will only go so far. And I think we've all got to be looking at alternative energy sources. There was something called, there was something I've ordered. Gaz, Phil's brother, has already got this, but he needs to assemble it. Because it's summer, he's not bothered assembling it yet. Phil and myself have ordered one. 150 quid. It's like a very small little heater that you assemble, but it doesn't run on gas or electric. It runs on this stuff called bioethanol. It's a liquid which you can get for $2.50 a litre. And once you've got this thing, it doesn't take up much space at all. It kicks out a lot of heat. So it's another alternative source, and we'll probably do a little talk on that when we've got it set up and see how it runs and how good the heating is. And if it's really good, then we'll probably get one for upstairs as well and one for down here. You'll still need, obviously, your radiators at certain times for drying things off or whatever. But it's not having it running hour upon hour upon hour as we did in the past. So more on that. It takes them a few weeks to make these things up. And this is from the website of John Hamer, who's done a number of books on looking on conspiracy stuff. And I can't remember the name of the site offhand. I'm fairly new to his stuff. But yeah, so that's something to look at. The other thing was that video from Tim from Fair Play Now, wasn't it? On remember the ones with the little candle, tea tree lights, with the flower pots,
flower pot on the
top. Clay ones, two, and a larger one on top with the £2 coin on top. And once you got that set up, it kicks out reasonable heat for pennies. So we've got to look at things because it's going to get mad, and then everyone will be looking at these things.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the really elderly who need the extra heat, and people with little ones.
That's
because we're middle-aged, we're fairly fit and healthy, aren't we? We can, if we're cold, we can jump up and down a bit and put another jumper on. But other people can't, you know, especially like I say, if they've got little ones and they've got to bath them every day and clean them, wash clothes.
You've got to get warm slippers, you've got to get warm jumpers, and you know, maybe a hat even indoors.
It's going to be some people harder than others. I can tolerate it.
And
step outside, I could.
And then it gets more difficult, isn't it? Because as people can't cope, family members will be looking to others for support, isn't it? For help. And people just need to be wise in these days. It's going to be difficult, isn't it? So we need to think ahead. So
the biggest obstacle, hurdle I have processing this is I still think there's a lot of people either don't want to believe it or can't see it's actually being deliberately engineered and played out.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be, what's happened? The price has gone up. Why has it happened? Well, the man in the suit on the television said it happened because of this. So that, and you think, really, you can see what's happening. Prepare, but they won't. They won't be prepared. They'll be running around like headless chickens.
Absolutely, and
we've seen it.
You can see how all of this is developed from that, isn't it? Really, the knock-on effect. The business is shut down, and everything that's followed on. The economy just going downhill, and then the Crimea situation appears, and then everyone says, "Well, it's because of the war in Crimea."
It must be because of that.
And this and that, and it's tracing it back to what they pulled in the first place, isn't it? And now all these other things they're hitting us with. Its consequences. It's so logical if you look back, but as you say, it's people's unwillingness that this has all been thought through.
Well, one of those things, I mean, you know I'm into my aeroplanes. I put my Red Arrows video up last night. It was great flying over. I know it don't interest a lot of people, but if you're into aeroplanes, it's not very often you get a fast jet display team fly over you. I do apologise, but this stuff floats me about. But where I've done a little bit of aerobatics a number of years ago, and the first time I did it, it's frightening. It's very frightening. You think, what if the wing comes off it? Because I did aerobatics initially in a Cessna 150 aerobat. You don't wear parachutes in those.
Okay.
You're doing the Blancas, which I've done aerobatics in, and the T6 and other aircraft, but the Cessnas, you don't wear a parachute. So I'm thinking, well, if the wing comes off it, I'm dead. So when the instructor showed me, oh, this is how we do an Ullman turn, turns it on its back and all this kind of stuff, you close your eyes. Well, closing your eyes don't help. You're not helping anybody. And my point is, the analogy is, it's all right. You don't want to believe some of the things that are happening. You want to close your eyes and pretend you're somewhere else and something else is happening. But you're not. You're upside down in an aeroplane heading towards the ground. But, you might as well open your eyes and face what's coming as close and pretend it's not happening. Yeah. And so you can see it's being played out now. People, they just don't want to accept what's actually being done and played out.
Because it's obviously too frightening.
It's too frightening for them.
And shatters their illusions of how they view the world and the fact that you can no longer trust all these sources.
Let's just sit there and believe the nice man in the posh suit who's telling us, and the lady in the nice blouse with the posh accent who's telling us what's happening on the telly.
That's right. And although I'd shared quite a few news items on the last talk that I did, the update talk, but a few other bits. Now, there was this, I don't know if you saw the clips of Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss, of the debate on Talk TV. And I found it somewhat unusual. Well, first of all, after half hour, the host, Kate McCann, she faints completely. And she faints on the words of Liz Truss when she says the words freedom and democracy. She actually collapses at that point.
So I missed all this because I watched the box.
Now, I found it just very interesting that had happened. Has she fainted because of having that? Or is this some signal of saying something that they want to get across? I know Franchard Pearson has spoken quite a bit, and yourself and I have touched on the fact of the purple rain and of this new, I don't want to say those words, new WORLD.
God bless him, he's looked into it,
Yeah, but he makes the point that these people are coming out in a lot of purple, and of course Liz Truss was wearing the purple, completely in purple.
Coincidence!
And there was a huge purple and Tiffany blue backdrop.
Coincidence, Marty.
Yeah,
Can only be coincidence. All coincidence, all of it.
And then you've got he's in the black and white of the yin and yang of neither good nor bad.
The checkerboard.
And the lady who collapsed was in total red. The
popular colours.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah. Well, this the thing is now.
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it is. But have you ever? I mean, a healthy young lady like that standing up 1 minute, collapsing on the words of freedom and democracy. Now, as you say, it could be total coincidence, or it may not be. I don't know what was going on.
A couple of years ago, no? Well, it'd be less than 2 years, because it wasn't long after the Vista rolled out. But there was a similar thing happened, and I did see that because it was on YouTube. I think it's since been removed, I believe. But I think it was in the Netherlands or perhaps Denmark, one of the northwest European countries. But exactly the same. Somebody was there in a podium giving a speech about this, and they literally went down like timber, like a tree, went down. Now, these things have always happened. People flack out on television sometimes. The lights are on, the cameras are on them. There's a lot of stress. I'm embarrassed. There's a lot of eyes on them, anxiety. So it does happen, but it just seems to be. It's like sports. It seems to be happening a bit too much.
We're in strange days.
A bit too much.
Strange days. Let me think now. I was I was watching, every now and then, I watch the Sheep Farm Studios with Dom and Chris. They do a set called Meet the Flockers. Have you ever seen any of their
Never
stuff?
seen it, no.
They can be very long, sometimes hour and a half, 2.5 hours. In-depth research. There was a film called Meet the Flockers, wasn't it? Or something to do with the Flockers. De Niro, was it? He was in it.
Robert De Niro.
But they're looking at various of these political figures and their background, who they are, their connections, and that it's very eye-opening and interesting. Now, there was one on the Nadim Zahawi. Was he the health? Is he the present health secretary or something? Or anyway, they touched on this secret society he's involved in that I'd never ever heard about, called the Circle. And you only get into this group by invitation only. So, yeah, that's a very interesting talk on that. I won't go into all the detail on that. The other thing that I don't think we've touched on yet, and wanted to touch on, was the, not too long back, on the 6th of July, the Georgia Guidestones apparently were blown up partially and then knocked down by the government. Now, for those not familiar with the Georgia Guidestones, they're a sort of Stonehenge type thing that was erected in 1980. And in it, inscribed on these stones, they have one of the key points is that the Earth's population should be no more than 500 million. Now, for truthers and people who knew about this, these things are quite vile and horrible. And at first thought, when it happened, most of us were quite happy. I thought, well, yeah, that's just, well, piece of junk, bring them down, get rid of it. But the authorities came in and very quickly and knocked down the remaining ones, which made you begin to wonder something about who's behind it. Now, they did threaten whoever did it would get a 20-year prison sentence, as an example. I think they're yet to catch anyone. But if that is the case, then why, if it's a crime scene, does the authorities themselves come in to knock it all down?
Yeah,
it don't make any sense.
With a font of gun.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I thought. From the FBI, explosives.
Yeah.
Like the FBI or whatever agency is going to be crawling
Exactly.
around. I don't bother, did they?
So, Franchot Pearson, he did the numbers on this, being a numbers guy, and very interesting things he comes out with. So he just looked at the date it happened, the 6th of the 7th, 2022. And if you add all those numbers together, 6 plus 7 plus 20 plus 22 comes to 55. If you add the numbers together individually, it comes to 19. And if you remove 19 from 55, you end up with 36, which is, as he puts it, 3 sixes, 36666. Also, he points out that George Bush Jr., who is ever identified and linked with the Twin Towers coming down with Tony Blair liar, he was born on July the 6th, 1946, and he is actually 76 as we speak. Now, he's a Skull and Bones member, another secret society, and they're always identified with the number 322. And this was the date the actual Georgia Guidestones was unveiled in 1980, the 22nd of March. And in the US format, because they put the month first, don't they? And then the day. We put the day and then the month. In the US format, it's 3/22. Now, Mark Devlin, on his site, he pointed out this popular Netflix series that's taken a lot of people by storm. People are talking about it, family members talking about it. I've not seen it because I'm not on Netflix, but it's called Stranger Things. And one of the main characters' birthdays, Will, played by Noah Schnapp, in the series is 22 of March, 322, which, as Mark Devlin says, could be sly signalling. So with all those little thumbprints and things, although we can't categorically say, but it does give the impression that the evil controllers themselves may well have knocked them down. And we don't know the reason why they'd do it, but that's another matter altogether.
It could, again, who knows? I don't know. I don't claim to know.
Yeah.
It could be that they've served the purpose. They've said what they was going to do. They've installed all the people now in preparation of actually doing it, and the ball started to roll. This is actually going now. What if? Again, what if? I am saying this as fact. I'm not saying this is how it is. I'm saying I'm hearing things. You read things. You got to ask questions. If this thing has done something to your immune system, so down the line you might get away with it now, but a couple of years' time it might be something like some kind of induced auto immune deficiency, something like AIDS. So you're susceptible to anything. Well, look how many people have took it. I mean, you know, in 10, 15 years' time, what if I'm dropping off like flies? Suddenly, you've got you're 500 million people, are you, from 7 billion?
Exactly.
You know, so
exactly.
Maybe, like I say, I'm going to stress that I'm not saying this is fact, this is not how it is, it's an idea. So in that way, you can call it a conspiracy theory in that particular way. But what if the ball is already been started? The ball's already been set in motion. So now they've said, right, these stones, they've served the purpose. We told them as Satanists what we're going to do.
Yeah.
They didn't argue. They didn't do anything about it. They laughed about it. They didn't take it seriously. They looked at it as a curiosity. We told them we was going to kill them off. We told them how we was going to do things.
Yeah.
Now him doing it, knock them down. We don't need them anymore. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, what we see, there's no doubt about it that people that generally have had that have become more sickly than they were. They're more susceptible.
That's fact. That's been proven by
to getting what they term as, you know.
Yeah.
They're more susceptible.
Yeah. Look at the reporting figures, not ideas plucked out the ether, but actual what's
people
actually happening.
Know around us.
Yeah.
You know. So the medium term, long term, anything's possible. But we know as every month rolls on, we see different things.
It's like asbestos, I mean, asbestos are going to kill if you had a lung full of it today. It's not going to kill you tomorrow, but it's not going to do a lot of good in 20 years, is it?
Well, yeah.
It sounds a similar kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So, any other news items? Anything you wanted to just throw into the?
No, I mean. I ain't got an issue with this. Everybody's got their right to slag me off in the comments or disagree with me. I believe what I'm saying is right, else I wouldn't bother to do it. I wouldn't embarrass myself. I wouldn't do this if I was going to compromise myself in any way. I do it because what I believe from what I'm seeing and experiencing is true. Some things I don't know, and if people disagree with me, then that's fine, unless I'm complete morons about it, than just being, deliberately rude or obnoxious. But I don't mind a differing opinion because what I'm saying is right, and I believe it'll be proven to be right once all the censorship is finally washed away and the bigger questions are being asked being more publicly. But you've got a lot of people on about flat earth. Now, I've got to state my case with this flat earth. I don't give a damn. I don't care. Not interested. Not bothered. When we're raptured out of here, we're either going to be raptured off a globe, a spinning globe in space, or a flat plane. One of the two. Until then, it don't affect me.
Yeah,
What I will say is that because we know who controls the media and the history books and all the rest of it, we've been lied to over and over and over again down the years.
It makes
down
you question
centuries.
everything. I know.
It makes you question everything. So is the world flat or is it the globe? Oh, you know what? I don't know. When I used to fly my aeroplanes, the highest I went was about 6,500, 7,000 feet above ground level. That was over the Brecon Beacons.
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't be high enough to see any kind of curvature in the earth if it was flat, if it was curved anyway, if it was a globe. I just don't know. I can't say. It's an irrelevance. What difference does it make to me driving home to Litchfield or going around the supermarket?
Exactly. I mean,
but like so, we do know we have been lied to. There's so many things.
We have to make
things,
as major importance.
That's right.
To obviously to these people, they must, having studied it and looked at it and believing it.
Yeah. I ain't got an issue with that.
They feel it's important.
Yeah.
But in the overall scheme of things, how does it affect your day every day and getting up and living and moving, having your being? I mean, I think there was a chap I interviewed in St Ives, Steve, wasn't it?
So
he actually said, what he says, I don't know what the earth is, whatever the earth is. Do you remember him saying something like that?
Who got the shop.
Yeah. We've got to get the priorities. You see, if we're sharing with people face to face, we've only got so much time. We don't want people to think, oh, we're totally crackers before we even bring the main points we want to speak on, isn't there? There's many things that could well be true, but you can only unload so many off on a person who's listening to you and giving you 5, 10, 15 minutes. You can't run through 100 conspiracy theories or whether they're conspiracy or not.
Yeah, you talk. I mean, we spoke earlier on about Franchot Pearson, right? Colours and numbers. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I know they do.
Yeah.
It's evidence. You don't need to make this stuff up. It's there to see.
Yeah.
Does that mean every colour combination and every numerical combination is no, it's not. It's the same with these what they call chemtrails.
Yeah.
Do governments, do agencies for nefarious purposes spray population centres? Well, I believe they do. Does that mean every single vapor trail you see is a bloody chemtrail? Well, could that be stupid? Because it's not. That doesn't mean to say they don't exist.
Yeah, of course.
You know, but it's not every single one. You know what I mean? It's people, and I just can't be asked to get into it. I can't. It's just.
And of course,
where's your head?
I was just going to say that. It will wear you out.
Where's your head?
Pick your battles, as you said to me a while back, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So shall we leave it there? We're heading on almost half hour.
We have actually. We've been banging on.
And I thought we'd only talk for about 5 or 10 minutes. Okay.
All right, and we'll leave it there.
We'll leave it there, and God bless.
God bless.
And be seeing you.